Oh, I'm back. There we go. Well, hello one more time. This is John Hauser from my YouTube channel, 76 Years of Free Advice. This is part 3. It's at least part 3 of how to be an intellectual. Now, one of the things about being an intellectual, I'm sorry, this whole thing is rather humorous for me. Trying to describe something like this can be difficult. So if I get chuckled once in a while, that's a new word. That's kind of like, anyhow, it's because some of this stuff is humorous. And I am going to show you the next step on how to be an intellectual. You first have got to wear these big glasses. No, you got to wear these big glasses. Anyhow, you've got to be able to answer questions. If somebody asks you a question, you've got to be able to give them a good, intelligent, intellectual answer. So I have a few questions that some viewers have sent in, and I am going to answer these questions. Now, I looked at the question, and I've already thought of some answers to give, and I'm going to go ahead and read to you what I've got. And hopefully hopefully this will encourage you to have answers. You have to have the answers in advance. You have to have the answer to the question that has not been asked. Let me repeat that. You must have the answer to the question that no one has asked. So you have to have that answer with you at all times. And you say, well, you'll know it. You'll know it. Just have that answer. Have the answer to the question that no one asked. So anyhow, here's some questions from some of the viewers and some of the comments that I've gotten. All right. Here is one question right here. I have to look down to read it, so excuse me for being so terrible. What are the advantages to being an intellectual? Oh, this is a great question. Let's get this up here where I can read it. Oh, excuse me. Oh, what are the advantages to being an intellectual? Here's the advantages. The advantage to being an intellectual is you will be the most intelligent. Is that right? What are the advantages to being an intellectual? The big advantage is you will be the most intelligent and possibly the smartest person in the room, provided you're alone. Okay, the next question. And some of these questions don't even apply to being an intellectual. I'm wondering why some of these people sent these questions in. But the next question is, what kind of girl should I marry? You've got to look for and find a girl that won't press charges. Now, how do I know that? In 1995, or maybe it was 1994, the very first Addams Family movie that was released, it starred Raul Julia, and I'm trying to think of the other guy's name. All of a sudden, it just slipped. But anyhow, he played the part of Gomez Addams. And when Festus asked him for advice, he said, what kind of girl should I marry? Gomez Addams says, you must marry a girl that won't press charges. I always remembered that line because I'm like, that is some of the greatest marriage advice ever given. Okay, let's see. The next question is, and again, I don't know why I get these kind of questions. I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm not a sociologist. I'm an intellectual. Okay, take it for what it's worth. Okay, how many children would you recommend, or how many children should I have? How many children would you recommend? I would recommend that you have only 2 children. Now, there's a very good reason why you only want to have 2 children. I learned this from my father many, many years ago. My father, there were certain things that he believed in. And he, many years ago, had discovered that every third child born into the world is, in fact, Chinese. And he said he didn't want any Chinese children in the family. He only wanted American children in the family. So I've stuck with that all these years and have decided, oh, I just remembered, we have 3 children. We have a daughter and a son and a daughter. Well, of course, they're all grown, and we have grown grandchildren. Fortunately, we only have 2 grandchildren. It must skip a generation. But anyhow, that's the answer. Try for 2. Now, where I go to church at, our pastor has got 7 children. Okay. What kind of car shall I buy? What kind of car shall I buy? You know, I don't understand these questions. I was expecting, like, the great intellectual question is, like, the question is, why is there air? Which has an obvious answer. The answer is to blow up basketballs. That's what Bill Cosby said years ago. Okay, but anyhow, what kind of car should I buy? Well, I recommend that you buy a car that you can pay cash. If you cannot pay cash for that car, don't buy it. Do not make car payments. Pay cash. I can tell you that in my past life, I wasted a lot of money on car payments. We stopped doing that, and we only bought cars that we could pay cash for. And so obviously, we're buying good used cars. All right, let's see what else we here. Oh, and something else is important. Make sure that the car is reliable. A good reliable. You can do some research and find out what are the more reliable used cars. And make sure the car has all 4 wheels. Don't buy a car with just 3 wheels. A little uneven when you're going down the road. So you want to pay cash. You want to buy a good, reliable car, and it's got to have all 4 wheels. Here's the rest of the answer. I forgot about this. As an example, a few months back, I bought my wife a Lexus. That's right, a Lexus. A good, used Lexus. Has a lot of miles on it, but I had a friend of mine who's a mechanic check it out very thoroughly, made sure the car was 100% reliable. It has that V6 motor in it with automatic transmission, even a little chrome trim, and Michelin tires. This was a good used Lexus. Now, a good used Lexus is known to go 400, 500,000 miles or more. And that's one of the reasons I bought one of those. Not because I live in the country club, and not because all my neighbors drive Mercedes. Well, anyhow, I bought my wife this good used Lexus, and she loves it. And it was a very reasonable price. I was able to pay cash. Okay, let's see here. Oh, so no car payment. Buy something that's got some age on it. Buy something that looks good, runs good, and have your mechanic check it out before you buy it. That's what I would recommend. Here's another question. Mind-boggling that they would ask an intellectual this question, but I got this question. They should be asking someone like Scotty Kilmer this question. How often should I change my oil? How often should I change my oil? What about Google? You can just go on Google and type in the type of car you got and say, how often should I change my oil? And Google will tell you. It will tell you. But I will tell you that I had a friend. His first name was Jim. And I had a friend who bought a car brand new. He bought one of these small Chevys, one of these small 4-cylinder Chevys. Used to call them rice burners, or, it's just like a sewing machine under the hood. He bought this 4-cylinder Chevy. He bought it brand new, but he never changed his oil. And he kept saying, oh, maybe one of these days I'll change the oil. And I'm like, if you don't ever change the oil, something bad's going to happen. But he didn't change the oil. He was lazy. He just never did it. And at 55,000 miles, he's going down the road at 70 miles an hour on Interstate 40, and the engine blows up. Boom! The car catches fire. He has to pull over real quick. It's an emergency. He pulls over. He gets out of the car, and he was safe. He got his cell phone out. He did get his phone out. but everything else he had in the car burned up and was destroyed. He had a lot of personal belongings in there. And so he didn't change his oil. At 55,000 miles, it goes kaboom. So how often should you change your oil? Don't wait 50,000 miles. Go onto Google. Look in your owner's manual. Ask your mechanic. I think it's 5,000 miles, but somebody else that's smarter with cars than me will probably know. But remember, you want to have the answer to the question that hasn't been asked. All right, let's see here. Another question here. This question here. Now, this is getting a little bit better. It says, your thoughts on dating older women. Well, first off, I don't have those thoughts. I'm very happily married. And if you go back and look at the name of my YouTube channel, it's free advice from 76 years of experience. I think about dating an older woman, and you're coming up on 76. I mean, that doesn't. No, you want to go the other way. You want to look in the other direction. When you're 76, a woman who's 60 suddenly looks pretty good. oh. Date a whole woman. Are you crazy? And I heard somebody say this recently. He said, of course, the advantages to dating an older woman is you don't have to worry about meeting her parents. Well, I guess that's it for the question and answer part of the training. Now, remember, I'm doing this, I'm giving these videos, this training course. This is a training. I'm giving it away free. It's not costing you anything except a little time to watch these videos. And what I'm trying to show is that it doesn't cost anything at all to become an intellectual. You just simply need to be able to think. Be able to think. You need to be able to read books, and you need to be able to answer questions, if you can answer questions. And you need to be ready to answer that question that hasn't been asked. So for now, this is John Hauser with Free Advice, trying to tell you how to become an intellectual. Think about it. Think about it.